All right, hi guys. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to export different documents in Photoshop. So first of all, I want to click on this doggo image and show you guys what a transparent background will look like in here. So if we wanted our doggo to have a transparent background, that way we can place him in our um, feature story design or ASF or whatever you might be doing. We want this dog to have a transparent background, so it's just the dog itself. We can easily do that by going to File, Export, and then Export As. Make sure you've saved your Photoshop document as a PSD file before this though. That way you can return if you do want to make any edits to it. And then what we're going to do is this is what it's going to look like. Okay, so you won't have the checkered background on here. It will be transparent. Now, if you export it as a PNG, it will be a transparent file. So let's go ahead and export that. And let's just put it onto desktop for now. And we'll replace whatever is currently there because that's fine by me. And then let's say we want a version of this that also has a white background. To do that, again, go to File, Export, Export As. And let's say we want to also have an image of this that has a white background to it. So that is what our dog would look like if it just has a white background to it. And we can go ahead and export. So the difference between PNG and JPEG is that PNG files will always have a transparent background if it's a cutout, something like this. Now, if it's a JPEG, it's always going to put some type of background on it that fits the frame of this. So this is a vertical rectangle. So it's going to fit this frame with a white background. Okay, and if we want to export, let's rename this just Doggo1. That way we can see the different copies and click Save. And that's going to export onto our desktop. So we should have two images, okay? And so we have Doggo1 and Doggo PNG. Now if you open up Doggo PNG, it should look something like this. Obviously, you can tell my editing wasn't perfect. You know, my cutout wasn't perfect. I could have spent some more time working on the cutout of this, obviously. There's some pieces missing. So that's what you kind of notice when you do actually export. Now the dog has disappeared. But what you'll notice is that you can start to get a really good idea on what your image actually looked like, and you might need to make some more edits to it. And so this is that PNG file. Now if we were to open up the JPEG file, you know, we're not going to be able to see our edits as much, but we can see that this is put onto a white background. The checkered background can sometimes be really hard to be able to see all the edits that we need to make. You know, it does show this white background and even the transparent background, really, this one, are going to show, you know, some green that is still on the dog. So we're going to want to go back with probably an eraser tool and make some edits to that. And then last but not least, when we get back into Photoshop, make sure you always save this as a PSD file. You know, PSD files are going to be working files. So let me go ahead and file and just save. And we should be able to have some type of PSD file on here. Let me see if I can get that. Yep, Photoshop. So if we save it as a Photoshop file, a PSD, that means we can bring it back into Photoshop and continue to make these edits to it, okay? So just like InDesign, an INDD file is a working file, a PSD is a working file for Photoshop.